What's going on, guys? This is Elliott Splash with iRacing, my first video on this motorsport simulator. We are at Lime Rock Park in a Mazda MX-5 Roadster, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting race because I've done Lime Rock Park several times and I've not made it to the finish. I keep on getting shunted or just knocked off the park. It is a very fast circuit and also a very short one. The laps are around about 1 minute 2 seconds. As we're going to try and maybe go down the inside of the red Mazda. No, we think else of it, but he's gone wide, so we'll have the inside line, try not to cut him off, but then we can move over to the side of the circuit. Somebody's already off the track. Is he going to come on? Well, I'm moving a little bit wide just in case he decided just to go straight on back onto the track like an absolute idiot. But we started in 9th place, we're now, I believe, up into 7th place, which is not bad at all. This corner here is probably one of my favourites of this circuit. You just dabber brakes, turn in, get on the power, and then try and hold the car, because you hit a little bit of a bump over the bridge, and it just seems to send the car a little bit loose around the rear end. It is a front wheel drive car. It does make it a little bit difficult around a fast circuit like this, because understeer does play a big part, as you can see here, running wide into the final corner, which has lost us a little bit of momentum to the cars in front. But we are still in 7th, which is not good. We've made it 1 lap without getting hit. That is brilliant. I don't think I've managed that before. But we're coming around the first corner and somebody's just decided to smash right into us. You know, you've got to brake for the first corner. It wasn't that car there, he just got past us. It's a car just behind who smashes another car. I can just about see it in the rear view mirrors that he hits another car, he comes back on track. But we haven't lost too much time, funnily enough. We was able to catch the car and get back on track really quickly. So we haven't lost too much time, maybe around about 5 seconds. But we can still make our way up through this grid. I do love iRacing. This is probably one of the other reasons that I haven't been uploading a lot lately. I've been practicing on iRacing just to get up to speed with the game and get used to this Mazda. But I find this so much more interesting than Formula 1. It's true, the F1 2015 game is not that interesting. There is not a lot to do on it. I haven't even finished my first season yet, where you've got people like Ava, who's done 3 seasons. How he's got the dedication to keep on going on that game is beyond me. I do go on it now and again, as we're going to go around the outside. Possibly now we're going to run too wide and we actually go off the circuit, and we are now just taking a trip over the grass and the sand. Hopefully we can get back onto the track, and that's probably lost us a few seconds as well. As you can see, it's probably lost 4 seconds. But we are still, I believe, in 9th place, so we're not doing too badly. But iRacing is a lot more interesting than it is on F1. F1 is just boring. It's just, the handling's brilliant. The AI are a lot faster, but they still need improving. I mean, I'm getting pole position on almost every race now, so I don't know, it's just not interesting me as much as the previous games did. But yeah, I'm finding iRacing good. I want to do other videos on other games as well. Like Minecraft is in my head. I don't know if it'd work on this channel. If you would like to see other games other than racing, because this channel is a racing channel basically, but if you'd like to see other games, I've got Rocket League that I want to do and things like that. And I believe there was a few cars just gone off into the grass, or was that just a lock-up? No, somebody's pulled over on the inside line of the first corner. So we are now up to 7th place, I believe, because I think 1 car went into the pits as well. We've still got to catch up to these bunch of cars, but once we catch up to them, if we catch up to them, and in fact, we'll be able to hopefully overtake them. We do seem to get a better drive out of the final corner. Just in all the final corner needs a bit like this. This is a dabber brakes, where that is you just lift off the throttle. And I went a bit too slowly into that corner, losing the rear end slightly. It just seems to snap out on you slightly, and you have to be ready to catch the car, otherwise you're going straight into the barrier on the right hand side of the track. But we seems to be making gains on the cars in front. You can see we've definitely closed the gap, hitting the inside curb, and the car's just spun. Don't come over the track. Oh, I thought he was just going to go T-bone straight into me after he lost control. But we was going too fast and we passed the car before we got to that side of the track. So now I believe we're up to 6th place, trying to have a nice tight line into the first corner, which is probably the most difficult. You've got to make sure that your tyres don't lock up, I believe this has got ABS, so I don't think the tyres will lock up in this car. I think the Mazda does have standard ABS, but you've also got to make sure that you don't run too wide because you are in a front wheel drive car, so it does cause you to sort of just drift wide, so you've got to be really brilliant on the brakes and just edge off it and trail brake around the corner, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes if you miss the braking point by just a little bit, as the car in front lost the rear end a lot more than we did, and we seem to be catching up to him quite a lot. Maybe we'll get a move done coming into the start-finish straight if we can get a good run out of this final corner. And it looks like he's going wide. We've got a little bit more speed. Try and tip it, tuck behind him for the slipstream. Maybe take a, I don't know, I think we might be too far back to try and outbrake the car, but we try it anyway. He brakes really early. We're trying to stay on the inside as much as possible to give him some room. There is a car on the left that's decided to spin out on that first corner. It's so easy to do, to spin out in that corner. It's ridiculous. I do love this track. It's fast paced, really bumpy, and the fast corners cause a lot of issues for this Mazda because it's front wheel drive, and a little bit of understeer is going to put you straight into the barrier. The barriers are quite close together, especially when you are taking the racing line, especially here. If you just go a tiny bit wide, the corner barrier sticks out slightly, so you're just going to have to catch it and it sends you flying. Now this corner I do like, but you can run extremely wide as well into this and hit the tyre barrier, which causes a lot of problems, and once you dip a wheel into the grass it is very difficult to get back out, but not as difficult as some games. I would have thought iRacing would have been a lot more harsh with the grass, but you seem to be able to drive through the grass. Okay, you lose a bit of grip, but not as much as I think as you actually would. But we run slightly wide into the first turn, but we sort of slow down the car slightly. You want to hit that corner, exiting that corner around about 65 miles an hour is probably the best exit corner speed. Also, I love this track as well because I can get more speed out of this car if I really wanted to, but then I'd be unbalancing the car by changing down to second in some corners, but you can just leave it in third and go. The only time you've got to change up or down is to start finish straight. Coming out of the final turn you've got to push up to fourth gear, and then when you brake for the first corner you've got to make it down to third. But I believe we're now like in third place, funnily enough. I think there's been a lot of crashes, but we seem to be the fastest man on track at the moment. Fast man or girl, sorry. But sorry, just having a sip of cup of tea there. My voice was going a little bit rough, but we seem to be very quick. We're lapping on average around about 1 minute 2.5 is probably our average time when we don't have any issues where we run wide or we get hit by a car. So I think that's our average time at the moment. You can see we do pick up a lot of time in the first corner, and my Facebook's just decided to go off while I'm trying to commentate. That's very annoying. But anyway, we're closing up. I believe this is second place. Actually, might be first. I think we've actually been promoted up to second place now, and I think this is the first place man, the leader of the pack, because I am having some issues. Well, this is a replay because I didn't want to commentate or record at the same time as racing because it hurts the frames, and also I couldn't get it sorted in time for the race. So this is just, we're running wide, almost losing the rear end into the second to final turn. Now we're going into the final turn. We're probably going to have lost some momentum, but we should be able to close up a little bit to the car in front, and it looks like we are, but we are way too far back to think about a move, so we're just going to stay behind him, hopefully pick up a little bit of a slipstream. He brakes quite early for the first corner, and we just run wide, and that's gained him around about 5/10. I would have thought he would have gained in that first corner, and it's a very long corner as well. That's another issue with that first turn, probably the most difficult on the track, as I've also said already, as we clip the curb in on the inside, and then we clip the curb in once more on the next corner. We're making the track as wide as possible to try and pick up as much speed, and this is where we can probably carry a little bit more speed if we dare. And we're hitting, probably just going over the bump at 86 miles an hour, and it looks like we are closing up. If we can be neat around this final two corners as we hit the bank, the curb there, we might be able to overtake. So he brakes slightly, we just try and get it turned in as quick as possible, using all the track up. Are we going to be able to overtake and lead for the first time in iRacing? We've done around about 30 races. Can we get our first lead? Yeah, maybe, if we can keep it on the inside. I think he's still on the outside. No, he's decided to drop back now, so we can use the rest of the road. As you can see, he's just behind me there. We gained enough time through that first corner to move over to the inside line, back to the racing line. So we're actually now in first place, which is brilliant, and we're only halfway through the race. I believe this is lap 11 out of 20 laps, so we've got 9 laps to defend our position or try and create a gap. Now, iRacing, if you haven't got it, pick it up. It's brilliant. It's expensive though. That is a big problem with iRacing. I'm running with the base game at the moment, the subscription. I got the summer sale where I got 3 months for the price of 1, just to try it out. Now, if you'd like to see me do other videos on iRacing, tell me in the comments down below. Hit like on this video, share this video. It would mean a lot to me. This channel has started to decline lately, and I want to start doing more series than just F1, because if I'm not enjoying doing the races and the commentating, it's going to make a knock-on effect. I want to still carry on doing Formula 1, but not as much, not maybe as the main part of my channel. I want to make this more of a just racing or gaming orientated channel, and just making videos on different games, because I think that was my issue. I wasn't actually playing any other games. What I was doing is I was playing Formula 1, making videos, having a couple of days off, playing Formula 1, making videos, and I've been doing that for about a year now, and I've just got to the point with Formula 1 where I don't particularly want to pick it up. And then I've also got this iRacing, which I'm addicted to at the moment. Same with Rocket League, actually. Rocket League's a prime example. It's one of those games that you pick up and go, oh, just one more game. 3 hours later, you're still playing it. As we coming through the final corner once more, somebody's hit the sand on the inside of the track. Looks like somebody's decided to go into the pits as well. We're still in first, but we are closing up to a group of slow cars at the back of the field. I believe they've just come out of the pits around about, I think they're about 7 seconds in front, as you should be able to see them there. There they are. So they're about 7-8 seconds in front. And I tell you what, this Mazda car is actually quite decent at handling. Okay, you're not getting a lot of speed. I think the top speed's around about 115, 120 miles an hour I've had out of the car, but it is quite good to handle once you get used to the unusual characteristics with the front wheel drive system and the way that the rear just seems to step out slightly. I think there is a bit more weight in the rear than there is in the front, which causes the rear end to be a little bit unstable through some corners. Also, I'm not blipping the throttle when I downshift, because I always forget. That causes the rear end to come across when the RPM dips, which is an issue. I am using auto clutch. That is the only assist I am using, because, well, I can't remember how to use a clutch, and, well, I can sort of, but it's too much to think of at the time while racing. So I've just left it as auto clutch for the moment. Maybe we will get better at this game and start using the clutch, as it looks like we're almost hitting the apex there perfectly through the second part of the corner. And then we just roll across the curb, and we are slowly catching up to those cars that will be lapped once we catch up to them. Hopefully blue flags do come out and they don't crash me out. This is an issue I am actually scared of. Are we going to be crashed out while we're in first place by some idiot driver? Because I am not even joking you when I say I've raced this track, Lime Rock, probably 15 times now. As we lose the rear end slightly, going over the middle of that sort of ridge seems to have a bigger bump and cause a little bit more problems to the car than going on the far left of the circuit. But I've been crashed out on lap 1 every single time that I've done this racetrack. There is always some person who either pushes it too far, doesn't know how to drive, or is just a complete and utter troll and wants to destroy everybody's races. And because of this, my safety rating at the moment is a 2.17. This track came on the series, I believe, 5 days ago. I think I was about 2.8, and I was close to getting my D licence. But now I've got to work extremely hard to try and build it up to a 3 safety rating before I can qualify for the next set. Because I want to do the Skippy races. The Skippy races do look really interesting. Okay, it's going to cost me a lot to get all the circuits and stuff like that. But if this series goes well, I enjoy this track. I enjoy this game. Enjoy the car. I'd be more than happy to put money into this game to do videos on, because I'm enjoying the races a lot more than I'm enjoying Formula 1 races. So maybe we'll have more enjoyment together as a community if we play this game more often. And okay, I'm not earning, I mean, I do add revenue on this channel, but I'll tell you a little secret now. I've had 22,000 views on my channel since I started it around about 17, 16 months ago. I started my channel. I've earned £5. Yeah, of 22,000 views, I've earned £5, and that's why I'm hoping fan funding comes out at some point, because it's the amount of, this video actually isn't hard to edit at all. This one's actually quite easy, but compared to the Formula 1 races, the amount of effort you have to put into one of those races, and the editing as well, you'll be talking 7-8 hours I've been creating the video before it gets on YouTube. So it isn't like a normal job, YouTube, isn't it? I know I'm waffling now, but there's not much going on in the race, so I just thought about talk about different points. But yeah, YouTube is not like a normal job. You don't come out with a certain pay grade or anything like that. But I know I'm a small channel. I want to grow this channel because I do enjoy making the videos, and the subscribers that I've got that watch my videos a lot of the time, thank you very much. Thank you for your support. There's a few that I want to mention, like Wowpner. We've got, there's many people who comment on my videos that have been long-term subscribers that follow my videos all the time, and they always comment. They tell me what they like about the video, they tell me if they dislike it. Like a prime example was the F1 2015 Pro Season mode, where somebody commented saying he loves my videos, but he didn't like that they were so long, which is something I've decided not to do. I've decided to scrap Pro Season mode, and I could easily just do career mode without the corner guides if I wanted to push myself, but that'll be after I finish this series, and I'm not even halfway through. We've just done Silverstone. I can't remember what comes up next. Is it Hungary? I think it might be Hungary actually is the next race. So, oh, we're catching up quite a lot to this lap car here. Are we going to overtake him? It should be able to. Looks like we have. Now we're just going to make sure he doesn't brake extremely late and decide to go right into the back of me. We've got around about a 5-second gap to second place, which is decent. It looks like we're going to win this race if we have no issues. We could spin out, we could crash, we could have somebody crash into us, or we could just totally mess up. And a lot can happen in one of these races, especially at the end of the race, because I sort of lose a bit of concentration, and especially when I'm guarding a lead like this, I'm getting a little bit anxious at the time of this at this lap. I'm getting a little bit anxious, making sure that I'm braking at the right points, not pushing it too hard, because that would ruin my race, and that would not be good. We've also got the fact as well is I think tyre wear comes into play for these races. I'm not too sure, but the car seems to understeer more the longer that you go on with the race, which I've got to keep control of. Then also, you've got the fact as well as I'm not pushing that hard now. Because I'm not pushing, I might easily just have a lapse of concentration and just dip a wheel onto the grass or something, not realise, and then spin the car out. A lot of things can happen as we're closing up to the orange Mazda MX-5. I believe that is the Cup version. Are we going to be able to overtake him in the next couple of laps? I believe there is 3 laps left of the race. I think there's only 3 laps left. I think we're on lap 17 now. It's a shame this replay system doesn't have all the information. There might be a way of doing it actually. I'll have a look on iRacing, but I haven't really had the game long. I've only had it just over a week now, so I'm still getting used to it. I want to buy a lot of new tracks, a lot of new cars, but I'm not going to be doing that until I qualify out of the rookie series. I've not done oval racing really. I've done one race, and it's not my type of thing really. I prefer these kind of tracks. As we run wide into the final corner, almost lose the back end, but we keep it on the track just about without spinning out. So we are now still in first place. We're closing up to another lap car, but we're going to run wide into the first corner. Come on, slow it down. There we go. And then we're going to hit the apex for the second part of the corner, or the second corner technically, really. I don't know if you'd class that as 1 or 2 corners, but we are closing up to the car in front, who is probably in 9th place or something around about that region. We've had quite a good drive considering we got hit in just at the start of lap 2. We've also made a few mistakes running wide. things like that, but we are still in first place and we are the fastest person on the track at the moment, and we have been all race. We've led for 9 laps now, I believe, so we are doing very, very well, and this might well be our first iRacing win, and that would be brilliant. Maybe we can kick on from that. And also guys, I want to reiterate, if you do enjoy this video and you want to see more iRacing, smack that like button, share this video, and tell me in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you do enjoy iRacing and Formula 1 content. That's what I mainly do. And if there's any other games that you would like to see me play, I wanted to do Grand Theft Auto 5, but for some reason since I upgraded to Windows 10, the game just doesn't seem to work. I've been in contact with Rockstar support, just they can't figure a solution out. So there's a 60 quid game I bought that I can't actually play. But if there is any other games that you'd like me to pick up, like, I don't know, Assetto Corsa, R-Factor 2, things like that, tell me in the comments down below and I'll have a look, see if I like the game. Maybe if there's demos available, try the demo. I know R-Factor has a demo for the R-Factor 2. Try the game, see if I enjoy it. If so, yeah, I'll buy it and we'll do videos on it, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun together. This has been quite an interesting race up until about lap 11 when we overtook all the cars. It was just a hectic start to the race, but it's been a controlled drive for the end of the last 11 laps of the race. But anyway guys, there we have it, a race win around Lime Rock Park in the Mazda MX-5 Roadster, our first iRacing win, and that is brilliant as we pull the car up to the side now, and there we go, we've won our first race. If you would like to see more videos on this, tell me in the comments down below. This has been Elliott Splash on iRacing. Do not forget to like, comment, and if I can speak properly, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you enjoy me mixing up my words, because I do that a hell of a lot. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video.